Right. Yep. Wrong.
Okay.
You weren't saying anything.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live. Well, we're just getting situated here, and we'll let a few people come in, and we'll go from there. How about that? How's everybody doing today? Today is Thursday. It's a nice day today. It's nice for us. What was the temperature today? Like,
It was not a nice day. Let me tell you why when I come back.
why? Well, I mean, it was a little windy, but it was still a nice day. It was like 80-something degrees.
I'm gonna tell you why it was a nice day.
Why? I have my hair on today, you guys. So.
I didn't tell you this when I came in.
Okay.
My AC in the classroom don't work.
Woo! That's why it wasn't a great day.
So it was hot and stuffy in there. They're like, what does stuffy mean? I'm like, all the air is not moving.
No, my phone.
Oh, my bad.
That's your water. What does stuffy mean? That means we're going to be hot all day today, kids.
We were. And then some people were like, it's not hot. And other people were like, well, I'm sweating. What could you do? I'm like, I can't do nothing.
You should have did a little craft where they could make their own
No,
fan.
because there was people there to fix the AC.
Uh-huh.
And then the dude, he was like, oh, we have to go get something, but it's not from us, it's from outside people.
Oh.
But the thing is,
the kiki.
The room next to me, AC been out for a year.
So, we can talk about that off camera.
So I was like, how long is this supposed to take? He's like, a few days.
Yeah, right. Anyways, hello, everyone. Your favorite darkness, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. I did receive your card. I know it's in the post office. I'll go get it tomorrow. So whatever it is, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And Universal Advocate, good evening. We'll wait for a few more people to come in. Here,
so I was hot today. Well, I'm hot every day. But
I know, but when there's truly no air conditioning, that's hot. But we'll get into something else. So we're going to talk about...
Well, first, before you even get into anything, how do you guys feel about them still prolonging the season? For what reason? They never... Now, Married at First Sight is known for making something long. But they didn't have this many specials in between episodes before.
That's true. They didn't. I don't understand why. I don't know. Maybe they're definitely doing filler episodes, and I don't know the reason why. But I can say that this whole season, they haven't really had a lot of content. Like nothing new. They've been repeating things over and over and over again.
They haven't. I feel like they've had more content than last season. I mean, last season I just wasn't here for it at all. But this season I'm kind of halfway here for it. But like you guys were saying, I'm done because they really do keep talking about the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, it is too long and it is boring. And the temperature today, because it's still the sun, we're on the West Coast, so the sun is still out. I do believe it was 85 degrees today. And I think that's a nice day because our summers are ridiculous.
It is a nice day.
Our summers are triple digits all the time. So 80 degrees with a little bit of a breeze, that's not too bad. I enjoyed it.
But then you're in a classroom of 14 kids.
Well, that's different. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for everybody to come out, we'll just get a little bit started. So, and hello to the replay gang. Appreciate it too. Season 14, episode 16.
I thought this long episode was long-winded.
And you know what? If you realize sometimes that episode 16 is the end of the episodes.
I mean, yeah, it is the end of the episodes, but is it really episode 16? Because they had those filler episodes in between. So it's really like episode 18, 19.
You don't count fillers as 19.
Yes, you do, because it's a season.
Okay.
You count the season.
All right.
You don't count the after show.
Ooh, it's 50 in Ohio. To us, man, we'd be like, where's my jacket at? That's cold for us. Anything under 60 degrees is freezing because, we're used to a higher range of temperature in the desert. But 50. I mean, we have the air on right now, and the air is, so it must be 75 degrees in here because the air is on.
Yeah, 50 is kind of cold.
Yeah, 50 is a lot cold for us, but that's so okay. So let me just jump in real quick. I took a little bit of notes. I'm going to generalize, and then we'll ask you all questions or anyone else who wants to join. The item that's pinned for StreamYard, you don't have to show your face. You could just click the link and click mute video and just talk to us. So we like talking to you all. We like reading all the comments.
Yes.
And all that stuff. I definitely love reading the comments. I know you do too. So, all right. So this is the last week before decision day, and the couples talk to family and friends. I mean, haven't we seen this like 3 times already? So to me, this Married at First Sight season, I don't think any other seasons previously have ever talked as many times to family and friends as much as these people have.
No, they haven't.
And to tell them what's on their mind, to see what they're gonna do, and then also, there's gonna be a group final meetup, right? And so, and I think with the group meetup, it was kind of funny that Mark catches a leg cramp, but I thought his leg was broke. I think he thought it was broke too, and I think everybody was like, "Stay still," but he had a leg cramp. So Mark, he needs to maybe eat more than just.
As Lindsay said, from his semen, he's dehydrated. Wasn't that a gross scene? I'm just gonna jump.
I was gonna say Mark needs to step up his potassium.
No, Lindsay said he was dehydrated.
I heard what Lindsay said. That we're going to go into that next. Yes, that was disgusting, but Lindsay is so inappropriate in all ways anyway. So I don't know. She just keeps throwing ones at you that's like, oh my God, I can't believe they put that on TV. But anyways, we'll start with Mark and Lindsay. And we see that Lindsay is saying that they're at the end of their, I don't know, conception period, or when she feels like, they can have babies, but that's not true. People have babies in their 40s and even in their 50s, and men have it in their 70s and up. So I don't know what she's talking about. And so he takes a test to check his sperm count. And the way she was saying it was like, oh my God, it looked like something you see at a seafood restaurant. I'm like, is she comparing this to tartar sauce? That's disgusting.
She gave it really good visuals though.
I didn't need any.
It was good visuals. Like, no, she should be a writer.
I think Lindsay gives out digs to Mark, regardless of what it looks like. It was just disgusting. I mean, it makes you look at tartar sauce a different way.
You will look at it a different way in a few days. You won't even think about it.
You're not surprised by Mark's health, universal advocate? Me neither, because he doesn't necessarily eat right. He seems to eat like, and there's some people who don't eat a well-rounded meal, but he eats like a lot of. It seems like kids' meals, right? Like kids' meals, like nuggets and goldfish, and he probably eats gummy bears. I do occasionally too, but that's not my only meal. I'm talking about gummy bears, not no nuggets and goldfish and whatever.
Hot dogs and ketchup, macaroni and
the school lunch. But that scene was beginning not needed. I wasn't feeling exactly. It was not needed. But
really, what would this episode be without that content?
It's still
no one would be talking about it like that.
Well, I guess. So the part of their episode is for everybody. They meet with family and friends, whatever. But Mark has cleaned out his mom's place. And I do believe in, hi, Romel. I believe.
I'm sorry about that. It can be a celebration today.
Exactly. I know it's not maybe necessarily a good thing to remember that, but always remember your mom in the ways that was nice and healthy and stuff like that. And exactly, a celebration. That's how I look at it too. So, but thank you for joining us, Romel, and thank you for your support as well. But, didn't Lindsay say, back to them, that she didn't want to live in Mark's mom's anything when he talked about it like last week? Or whenever it was.
You know what made me laugh? She said she wanted a $500 budget, but she wanted to get the cabinets done, get the floors done, get new sofas, get new curtains, get new wallpaper, get new everything. I'm like, where are you going to get that for $500?
But the thing is, too, she's like,
not even at the Goodwill.
You're welcome, Romel. But the thing is she's like, I don't want the dresser. And I'm like, why don't you want the dresser? He can't keep nothing in his mom's place.
No.
Like nothing. But I don't even know why he even suggested they live there anyways. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because he got put out of his own apartment, but you wouldn't want to live there anyways. So when they're talking to their friends, I didn't really get too much from Mark's conversation with his friend. The friend gave good advice. Like he broke it down from bottom line is, if she's the woman for you, then, she'll pretty much meet you halfway. And, things wouldn't be as hard because you know what Mark keeps saying, he's always pressed about stuff. And I've been pressed too, Mark, since this began. And since since the wedding night, when she's laying on that bench. I was like, this is going to be a long season for Mark.
Mhm.
Didn't you think that too?
It has been. It's been a long season for us.
Put that up. Let me see. No veggies, fruits, or water. That's a turn on. Lindsay has this genes he's passed on to his kids. That's true. I don't think Lindsay cares. I think Lindsay just wants a husband and just ready to be married. She just doesn't care.
It might be a good antique go on to Antique Roadshow.
It doesn't even matter if it's antique. It's still his mom. She should be able to keep whatever from his mother.
Maybe Lindsay's thinking, we're already in the house.
Well, I guess. And then when she meets with her friend Kara later on, of course, the digs come up and she's talking about, have you ever been with an only child? Have you ever done this? Have you ever? And, she talks about how Mark is not into doing these certain things. But the friend was like, well, isn't he kind of like white bread? I'm like, see, Lindsay, that is your friend. That is definitely your friend, Lindsay, because she has the same, outlook on this that you do. But then again, maybe she's going to go off of what Lindsay's saying to her.
I mean, Lindsay's a personality. She has to have friends who are like her because
you have to.
There's no way someone who is like me could be friends with her because I don't even like her personality.
No, I don't care for her personality either. If you're watching, Lindsay, we'd be happy to have you on. Thank you. Now moving to Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina talks to her friend Miles about the relationship, and she talks about the insecurities, and the friend actually asked her about the insecurity as well. And that's when Jasmina breaks down to say that she's really not interested in Michael like that.
We already knew that. How many times has she said that? I'm not, yelling at you.
Well, I'm
yelling at Married at First Sight people.
I know.
I'm tired of seeing
And this is why, to me, they don't have that much content because they keep going over and over and over the same scenes, the same content. And the friend is saying, well, have you brought anything to the table to have things change or anything like that? She's like, no, not until now. And I was like, why are you just now thinking about that? Because I think she said that because they're in a better place now, communication-wise. And stuff like that.
I mean, you can communicate with your friend all you want to, but she doesn't feel anything physical with him. And if you don't have the physical with it, you can't be with him.
That's true.
Even if you guys aren't getting, physical with the sexual part, but if you're not even holding hands, touching, cuddling, like what's the reason?
And then Michael meets with his sisters and says that they weren't on the same page, but they are now. And one of the sisters gave some good advice, and I think they all should have got this advice. You need to protect you, and if it's not best for you, then maybe you should move on. And even though coming up, Olajuwon kind of says it, but we all know how Olajuwon says his way of saying it. So that to me cancels it out when it comes to him.
Do you think they will last? No.
Who, Lindsay and Mark, or Michael and Jasmina?
Either one.
No. Honestly, I don't think any of them will last. I think up to 2 will say yes on decision day, because when I first started with the Married at First Sight this season, I said week to week, I'm still week. See, don't you wish you followed that? Because you said you were sticking to it no matter what. We're going to go back on what you said in the beginning.
Universal Advocate says, I think Jasmina may fall under asexual. She might.
It's possible. It's very possible.
But she don't like Michael, period. So
no, she don't. Yeah, she don't like Michael at all. But I just don't know. I just don't know.
What do you don't know about?
I think that Michael and Jasmina, even though they're communicating better, is just simply not a match. Michael needs more from a woman in a relationship. You could tell he needs someone that help draw him out. He doesn't need to feel, in my opinion, that every time he says something, that he has to watch what he says or always walking on eggshells, because she started that from the very beginning. Like, you're aggressive, you're mean, you're this or that, all the things that she said. So now, even though you're communicating better, it's hard to come back from that because he doesn't know what to say,
Yeah.
He barely wants to hold her hand. He's trying to, kind of like, can I hold your hand? Stuff like that. Hi, Deb. How are you? Thank you for saying hello. Appreciate it. And then, so I don't think they'll make it. Now, Katina and Olajuwon, or you want to go to Noy and Steve? Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just surprised that Noy is still talking the way she's talking. Like, she doesn't know if she wants to continue on decision day, if they stay together, if they're going to, stay in the same apartment or stay married or whatever the case may be. I'm like, then what was the whole point of this being Married at First Sight?
I think
I don't get that.
I think Noi, she's seen the past seasons of Married at First Sight.
You do?
And she's seen how people, dragged people for not being in the same living arrangement with the spouse that they're with.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why she stuck it out with Steve this whole time and not live somewhere separate.
Uh-huh.
But it's kind of like, well, what's the reason that we're going to drag you anyways?
I know, but
not really. Well, other people drag. We just talked about.
But you know what?
It's the same thing
to you. But you know what? Some people. Well, how should I say it like this? Not some people. In general,
I agree.
That's true, Ramel. I agree with that too. What marriage, especially Married at First Sight, that's truly an arranged marriage, and you sign up for? What did or did you not say? And I've heard other people say this. I even heard it on the Courtney and Eddie show YouTube channel and other people as well. What part of this isn't you're not going to stay in the same place? So you're only okay to stay in the same place like during an experiment, but after I'm going to do my own thing, you come over, I get pregnant, you see the kids?
Mm-hmm.
What do they do with that?
She has no plans on being pregnant. She doesn't want to be with him.
No, she wants to be pregnant. She wants 3 kids.
Not
remember?
by Steve.
Well, by who?
Somebody else.
Well, then she shouldn't have been.
Who's she going to live in with?
I don't know. Well, Steve decided that he's going to pick out a new ring for her. I was like, Steve, save your money. Just save your money. But he's determined. Steve has always been determined to make it work with Noi. But I think with all the couples, there's definitely a miscommunication here because he must not have shared anything more than, if he wants a job, he could get a job.
Mm-hmm.
But he must not have shared the fact that
what is his job?
What is his job? And just break it down for her like that because she's so.
Well, what he said was
mm-hmm.
she didn't ask about what he did do.
Uh-huh.
And then when he said that he was a sales engineer
mm-hmm.
person, I looked that up immediately because I had to.
I know. We looked it up last night. In Boston, every region is different by what they pay.
And their medium was $100,000.
Yeah, but Steve has been in this for a minute, so his medium's probably higher. Plus, he said, or at least I read somewhere, and hopefully it's not a spoiler for you all, but if it is, I apologize, that he's even developed an app somewhere before.
That has been out since.
Well, some people don't know. Some people don't know certain things. Some people just tune into reviews and they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that's extra income right there. And who's to say it's still not in production? Or you could buy it, kind of like a CD or whatever it is, and then go from there. And then, I don't know. I'm just not feeling Noi. I don't even want to talk about the conversation with her.
Steve, because if she wanted to really get to know Steve and not just say, I love you week 2, she would really want to get to know him. But that money thing was really like a damper.
Yeah, that's right. Noi does say she's traditional but wants to live apart. But Noi also said that she was a hustler. She's used to getting stuff. See, to me, she may be a hustler in work life, but as far as dating life and marriage life, just based on what she said about being in Boston for 1.5 years and traveled to other places for different men, different relationships, that's not a hustler to me. That's somebody who wants to be in a long-term relationship, have children, and do what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then see you maybe sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's not a hustler, but work-wise, I can't say because we don't really know.
But Steve said that she wasn't really the nurturing type, or maybe felt like she wasn't because she didn't really like cook or clean.
Mm-hmm.
But her friend was like, that's the opposite of what she is. So it's like, why is she holding back so much from Steve in this process?
I don't know. I don't even know why well, we can say that for a lot of people as the shows have gone on. So let's move on to Katina and Olajuwon. Olajuwon met with his old coach and mentor. Again, here we go.
Every time Olajuwon talks,
mm-hmm.
I just don't believe him. I just don't like his spirit, his aura. Mm-hmm. I mean, he might be a really good dude, but just something about him, I just don't like the way he always talks down about Katina,
right?
And about Katina,
mm-hmm.
and yet he has so many flaws himself.
Now, see, here's the traditional thing coming in. Okay. Let's take out the emotion out of it. I can see where Olajuwon wants a traditional stay-at-home wife, mother, best friend. I can see that. You know why I can see that? Because your grandparents are traditional. They're a traditional household. Your grandmother worked, but she still came home. She cooked and cleaned, blah, blah, blah. But again, look how old they are. Look. how they are now, and look what generation they grew up in. That's not necessarily in this type of generation now. But I mean that has rubbed off on me, but that hasn't necessarily rubbed off on you, because as the times continue, that's not shade, but as the times continue, I'm just saying different things happen. Like the world has changed, jobs have changed, career has changed, status of what a traditional household looked like has changed. But his message to her is if like, oh my gosh, she don't do this. She still got 2 years left. 2 years left of school. Like she can't do school and be a wife and mother. I mean, I finished nursing school when I was 6 months pregnant with you. That was many years ago. And then I transitioned into administrative work, so I don't do that anymore. But you can do that. And for him to look down on her, it seems like
he's very judgmental. I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being traditional. Everyone has their own things that they like and they want, long term. He can be traditional all he wants to, but I just don't like the way he talks to her and talks about her.
Right.
And he over here sipping out of the glass that you pour the wine in and not pouring the wine in it.
That's a whole different issue.
It's not. It's all the same.
No. That's a whole different issue. That's on different levels.
But I'm just combining it as one.
Oh, as one level.
He can't talk about Katina, and he's not all the way there himself. I mean, maybe with a degree and the job or career that he feels like is stable for him. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you are still who is he, Sir Isaac from 2 months ago?
Yeah,
you're still the same person.
I don't know. He kind of gives me the Olajuwon and Noi and Lindsay give me the I'm better than you kind of thing because of XYZ, whether they be in the career. Lindsay throws out her career all the time.
Well, she definitely thinks
Olajuwon throws out his career all the time. And Noi, since she feels Steve is not working, throws out her career all the time, talking about when you're going to get a 9 to 5. That comes across as like I think I'm better than you, period. Mm-hmm. And then when we see the scene of Lindsay and Olajuwon talking, I was like, when did they become besties? Because the only thing that I can see is that honeymoon thing. I know they may have advanced further from there because of, the shows have gone on, whatever. But I'm like, really? They took the time out to sit and just chit chat? I think that's amazing. And then, Olajuwon was talking about the pros and the cons and the this and the that with her. And then Lindsay had to give him a little advice about, if you keep going on this route, you're going to lose Katina. And I'm like, wow, it took Lindsay to say that to you? No, for real. That's what I had looked at TV. I was like, for real? It took Lindsay.
I mean, Lindsay is not 100% bad. I just don't like her attitude.
No, I didn't say she was 100% bad, but just think off of, okay, we all met as strangers, and then my first impression of you is, we're getting into it. Yes, you may have made up or had decent conversation along the way, but Lindsay is giving you Olajuwon advice. She said, like, we're connected. We're pretty much two peas in a pod when it comes to how things are, how they view life and how they view certain things. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I just found that very interesting. I really did.
They've been meeting on the rooftop to discuss their issues.
Well, clearly Alyssa's still been coming by too, but nobody's talking about that no more.
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen Alyssa.
Good. There was no need to have Alyssa on here. That was just a headache all around. That was a headache. But honestly, and I'm gonna say something, and he may not be in here anymore. E-Dub from the Coordinated Show, on their review a couple of weeks ago, I have to agree with Eddie when he said, watching, even though it was a train wreck with Alyssa and Chris, that brought the drama. We were as a whole invested in to see what was going to happen next. And she's been gone. This show's been boring.
I mean, drama always pulls people. You always want to see what's happening next. Even with, the other Chris and what was her name?
Paige.
We wanted to see, even though it was cringy and it brought trauma to some people, what was happening next.
Triggering,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we really want to see. We actually want to see people progress and grow and do something. We haven't seen anybody really progress, grow, and do anything except for talk about the same issues they have over and over again, which
that's not progressing.
Wrong with, talking about your issues, but no one has been doing anything to make us be like, you know what? This is why I watch Married at First Sight, to see a couple really want to be here, to really be married, and really to grow as
I
one.
got to give you the look. We haven't seen that. This is why I watch Married at First Sight since, I don't know, maybe season 9, New Orleans. I'm for real. Because, was that 9? It was 9 or 10. Because 10 through now, no. And like I said, I didn't think it would get any, I don't want to say worse, but who wants to, let me be quiet.
You know, it seems like it's starting to be a little bit staged.
You think so?
I think so, because, they're cranking them out really fast.
Yeah.
Most people know the show. I'm not going to say like everybody, but most people know the show now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people just want to be on TV just to be on TV. If they find somebody cool, if not, they're just going to be chilling and be like, oh yeah, we can live together now, but after experimenting, we got to separate and try again.
That's a waste of time. That's a waste of genuine time, because it only takes one bad apple to spoil the bunch. If you are going to go, in my opinion, if you're going to go through the process of being on Married at First Sight, get vetted and come to the show, I mean, I could see maybe one person slipping through the cracks every couple seasons, but you're saying at this stage where the majority of these people are just like, oh, if it works out, it works out. That's wasting your time. That's a complete waste of your time, a complete waste of your family's time, a complete waste of emotion. And what if the other person is really genuinely into the process?
It's not a complete waste of their time, because you know what happens? They get more followers, they get more sponsorships, they get that little check on their Instagram or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mission accomplished.
You lost me on that. I guess maybe you have to be of a particular age, such as myself, to be like, you know what? Nope, I'm not wasting my time. To me, once you get to a certain age, certain material level in your life, you don't want your time wasted on any level about anything. For what?
But that's what we thought we were getting with them, because they are, most of them are older.
Well, they're older this time around.
But everyone was mostly like excited because, they're older, like 35, 36, they should be really wanting to do this and settle down.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I have to say. I would like for Married at First Sight to get back to where they were in the very beginning.
Oh, you want to see it again?
Nice. In the very beginning, maybe they need to take some of the pieces of the earlier concept of Married at First Sight, like the season 1, 2, and 3 when we were watching back then too, and put some of that now, because I know you have to evolve as a show. Mm-hmm. Because what's working in the last 3 to 4 seasons, it's not getting it.
Well, you have to keep up with the content. Love Is Blind. What new show we got on there?
Ultimatum. Put a ring on it. No, I get all that.
Catch up with that. So they want to keep the viewers. They want to keep it a little bit more spicy. Sort of like, well, what could we do to make more people come and be drawn to Married at First Sight? We don't want people who's in their 40s and 50s now.
Excuse you? I was just about to say.
Because how long has this been on? For almost 10 years now?
Yes, or longer. You were in high school, so at least 12 years.
So they're trying to move away from having the older crowd, and they want a slightly younger crowd. And what appeals to the younger crowd right now is drama.
Well, okay, ma'am, you're like the 40s and 50s. This is what I was going to say.
Well, I can't really say that because, ready to love people.
Right. They're ready to love people are a particular age for a reason.
They do be tripping too.
But I'm saying maybe Married at First Sight needs to branch out to the older crowd, because why not? Why not 30s, 40s, 50s, or even the senior edition? Because first of all, you don't think there's people that would want to be on Married at First Sight that's older? This dynamic right now is no longer working. And the drama that they think they're bringing is not working. I have seen a lot of people, whether it be our subscribers or reading others' comments just in general on IG or whatever, or the people's pages or whatever, watching their reviews. Mm-hmm. And most people have said the same thing, not just this season, the previous season before this too, that they only watch reviews. It's boring to watch. Something's just off with Married at First Sight, and they need to fix it. And with some of the experts who go on IG and give their opinions about what to say and what not to say, we won't mention any names.
Twitter, you mean?
Twitter too. They don't need to be doing that either, because you saw the show before we did. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you defend someone's behavior and actions if it's not morally correct?
Ramel said, if you ever had to go on a TV
screen.
show, it's not Married at First Sight. I mean, I still want to go on there, but I can see your point.
You can see my point?
His point.
Well, why would you want to go on Married at First Sight?
Because I just do. Because I know what's going to happen. I know what to expect. I know how to roll with the punches.
But you don't know that other person, so you don't know what that other person is bringing. You may get a this season Michael, a few seasons ago Michael. You might get a Brandon. You don't know what you're gonna get. You know that you're going there for the right. I would hope for the right reason. You're embarrassing me on TV. But anyways, so
No.
no successful marriages so far. So, but yeah,
they do need to go on a pause. They need to go on a pause. Usually they do go on a pause and not make something, like a month or two later. Well, not even a month or two, like a month later.
About 6 weeks. So the next up is San Diego. So I'm excited about that because that's West Coast. They haven't been to the West Coast yet. And so living on the West Coast, to me, is a different vibe than living in the Midwest. I'm sorry. Say it, don't spray it. Or the East Coast. It's just a different vibe. And so we've been to San Diego, so we could kind of know like the little different areas.
you know what I was thinking? Just how like Noise, like new to the Boston area, they'll probably have people from the East Coast, no offense to people from the East Coast, come to the West Coast and be new to the San Diego area and be on Married at First Sight.
I thought you had to be a resident of the area and not necessarily come from somewhere else, because it's like your job and everything else is
you
in
can
that
have
area.
Someone else's address. Who did that a few seasons ago? Didn't live nowhere but in a car. What was her name?
She was an airline attendant. I forgot her name.
In New Orleans.
Henry and whatever the girl's name. I can see her face with the dark hair.
I can see her too. She did it.
But she was an airline attendant.
Okay, she could have had an
so
address
she really didn't have no home.
No.
She was an airline.
Well, she lied. She said, "Oh yeah, I stay downtown in her car."
Henry's like, "Where?"
Well, maybe she stay in a hotel because she's like.
Well, but still, the West Coast vibe is completely different than Midwest and East Coast. So I'm curious to see.
It's different, but they're still going to be in the same BS. But I still go on what I said last time we were on the live. I'm going to say 5 out of 5 or whatever.
What?
Oh, Christina.
Thank you, Sharon. Christina, that's right. 5 out of 5 what?
It's successful couples who say
this season?
That say yes, no when they go to San Diego.
You can't. You haven't seen the people. Let me tell you something, because we already said this before. If there's another party picture.
See, you know what? Now we have to go back a little bit, because I remember when I saw that party picture, the first one with Christopher and Paige and all them, and I was like, I'm not really feeling too good about this.
Sorry,
like, no, it's just a picture. I'm like, And then look, now you all skeptical of party pictures,
right? Well, because that party picture. So they have a pattern now. If the group is in a party picture, like, Married at First Sight and all the couples are on there and they're like, like in a party scene, that's what we're talking about. The season's a mess. So far, 2 out of 2, they proved it. Everyone else was like individual pictures when I used to pop up on our reviews. That's the difference that I've noticed. So we'll see.
They're going to be turning up in San Diego.
I don't know about turning up maybe on the beach, but unless they go downtown not downtown, a couple hours.
Turning up like that, like turning up.
Yeah. But it's still a different vibe, because sometimes different regions have different slangs and different just how they do things, different stuff like that. So I'm just interested to see if we think it's more interesting, because they've been to Boston a few times, they've been to southern states a few times. So like, come on to the West Coast, not Vegas, but come to the West Coast.
Listen, as soon as I get the Vegas one, I'm applying to it. I am. I'm telling you right now. I've been said
it. Okay. You've been said it. And then I seen a thing for apply for Married at First Sight Nashville. So that's next. And I'm like, wow, here we go. But anyways. Well, do you all have any other questions? Because there's really nothing to talk about. That's why we came live, because there's too many fillers. We're talking about the same things over and over. We will be live. Hopefully we'll have a joint live with somebody, or be on to get other reviewers' opinions. That would be awesome.
Oh, you're forward thinking.
I'm forward thinking. I'm putting that out in the air. Yes. I have to message some people to see if we can.
For decision day, because
for
really,
decision day, yeah.
honestly, we know that. Well, I'm not gonna say we all know that they're saying no, but eventually they're all gonna say no. But who do I feel like are gonna say yes on decision day? I feel like Mark and Lindsay are gonna say yes.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think Michael and Jasmine are gonna say yes. I feel like Elijah Wan and Tina are gonna say yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Steve might say yes, but I don't think Noy will say yes. Because you can't be subbing him all the time and say yes on decision day. That don't even make sense.
I am not going to give a spoiler. I'll tell you off here that I saw something on IG with Steve.
Oh, tell me later.
No.
I want to know.
I said something on IG with Steve, so they'll have to go watch it.
No, I want to know. Tell me.
So I think on decision day, even though I said week to week, I'm still with that. I think.
Wait, hold on, pause. Are you watching the show next week?
No.
You know why? Because I don't like the past couples that are on the show. If I like the couples, then I would watch. But I don't like the couples or the people, so I'm not going to watch.
Well, we're not going to say no. Maybe.
Well, you're a maybe. I'm a definite. If it just so happens to be on the TV because mom puts it on, then I'll watch it. But me just going out to find it, I'm not going to watch it.
I don't know.
Noy is a sub queen. Yes, she is.
Hello, the Jasmine Show.
And I don't like people like that, especially people who are in their 30s. That don't make no sense. Why are you still bitter?
Anything else? Why are you still bitter? What else? Can Steve return that ring?
Of course he can. The ring didn't mean nothing.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
You need auto-tune just like the
Of
Housewives.
Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. The Jasmine Show.
Watching from where? Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, Kelsey. The Jasmine Show. We're going to hit you up with a DM in a little bit. I got a question for you. But anyways, I think that Steve and Noy will say yes. I do. I think Katina will say no, and Olajuwon will say yes. So I think it's a split decision there.
You
know
something I don't know?
No, I don't. I'm just guessing. I think Michael and Jasmina will say yes, but they'll break up by decision day, even though they should say no. And I
break up by decision day.
break up at the reunion. And I think that Lindsay and Mark, don't even waste their time. Just say no. Just say no. It's volatile. It's been volatile since the honeymoon, since she was. You can't even say anything to Lindsay without her being like, "You don't support me. You don't do anything for me. You're not my husband. I'm leaving. Why would you want to subject yourself to that? For real? That's what I want.
This was for real.
Well, I know, but after you're not like under the contractual obligations or this and that. Because why would to me it's browbeating. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to be browbeaten every chance you got? Who wants to come on?
Romeo.
Okay, Romeo. Hello, sir.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, how about you?
Good, I'm doing good. I can't really hear. It's like staticky.
Oh no.
Is it?
I don't hear any static either.
I don't hear any static. If you want to jump out and come back in, you can. We'll wait for you. What are they coming to? So, I'm tired of Lindsay saying oh yes, Brenda. Me too. how many times can you say it?
Cover your ears, Mom. I think she likes saying that to have some sex.
Mark don't want to have no sex with her. He couldn't even.
Well, she's trying.
Well, that's what he's saying, anyways. First of all,
some people like to get you all riled up.
He's not riled up no more. He's not being riled up. Besides him need to drink water and electrolytes, clearly he's not aroused anymore. Yes, I think the whole entire cast, minus Steve, has issues. I honestly, truly do. I think they all need, for the last 4 seasons, I think these couples, the majority of them have needed therapy, but this entire season, minus Steve, needs therapy. They all are battling something for sure.
Mark needs somewhere to stay.
Mark has somewhere to stay now, Kelsey. He has his mom's old apartment, remember? Or did you see the episode where last night where he cleaned out the stuff? So he's got somewhere to stay now. He don't need Lindsay. I think that's what Lindsay thought, though, before. She's like, he's such a train wreck. He needs somewhere to stay. He's been evicted. I mean, why she not tell Mark's business all the time to whoever will listen? Mm-hmm. Just another reason why he doesn't need to stay with Lindsay. And then you're on the after show talking stuff about him, too. So who wants this? Mark say no. I told you. I said he should have said no from the honeymoon, like for real. He's constantly being embarrassed. Remember the bowling alley? I mean, what more? Why would he tell me why he would say yes? For what?
Because he likes her. Maybe there's something within her.
I don't think so.
That he likes.
Well, I'm sure he's seen some softer moments. Even we saw a glimmer of soft moments from Lindsay too along the way when different little issues have come up. Like last week with the cat and I don't know. Something else happened. I don't remember now, but something. Read it.
Steve has small issues. He is not as flexible as he likes to think he is. He doesn't want a job because it hinders his creativity. He refuses to make Noi have the conversation.
I'm 75% with you on that, Kelsey. I'm 75%.
It's okay, Romel. It's always another time.
That's okay. I think Steve is a little bit more flexible than Noi's giving him credit for.
Steve jobless.
I know. I thought that was so cute when I saw that on the thing. He knows how to communicate with the image. That's true. I agree. I think that Steve has given Noi an opportunity to say, well, what chores can we split if you don't think I'm pulling weight, what chores should we split then? And she's still constantly like, well, I work 9 to 5. Kind of like, what do you do?
I would not mind a Steve. Right about now.
You know what? I'm gonna put out you spoiled too. She's right.
Just saying.
I know. I would like a Steve too, and I do all that stuff every day myself, and I work. Lindsay is. Exactly, 100%.
So she's not genuine.
Not at all. Not at all. And I don't think Jasmina is genuine. I think they think they're being genuine. It's called, to me, a backhanded compliment. You think you're being genuine and doing something good, but the minute's like, oh, well, why'd you say it like that? Well, why'd you do it like that? You don't value me. You don't respect me. That's backhanded. You can't put it out there and then something you don't like, you bring it back in. So, read it.
Marcus said there are highs and lows, but too many lows. He will say no.
I hope he does say no. Honestly. And you're not supposed to be like, oh, well, the relationships. We have seen this relationship not even grow. It's been deteriorating since the beginning. They've just been on a downhill slope. Like Steve and Noi started hot, and then they hit the middle, and now they're on decline, if you ask me. Because I think Noi's expectations is too much. If you just wanted a long-term boyfriend, you should have said that.
Yeah, they do need to switch out the experts. I mean, I like the experts. I mean, I do be having issues with them not being present as much. They're cool, but I feel like we need something else.
I don't think that they call out the couples the way they should.
Sometimes.
I don't think so. Season 11. Which one was 11? Was that New Orleans or one with Katie and Derek now? Connecting girl relationships otherwise. That's true. I agree with that. Don't be able to experience right. No, they don't. Yeah. But still, I just don't understand the point of come on married at
Maybe
first
they
sight.
have to buy their groceries.
Okay.
They want to eat out somewhere. Speaking of, I don't know who paid for that dinner that Steve and Noi had, but Steve's food looked so good.
Steve is always eating good stuff. Steve, listen.
I was like, I know that was an expensive meal.
I think Steve knows how to, first of all, he knows how to cook. Hopefully he knows how to cook other things other than noodles. But if he's always been on the go.
Oh, Woody and Imani.
Yeah, New Orleans. He's always on the go, before this experiment and everything else. He was used to eat down and probably fine dining, which is him. I'm with it, Steve. I'm with it. Exactly. Olajuwon needs a Steve, but Steve don't need an Olajuwon. So I look at it like that. So you need a Steve?
I do.
From A to Z?
Yes.
What's that say?
They don't pay for anything. Noi is resentful that Steve doesn't have to work and she does. Remember, she said she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom?
Yep.
Well, they can stay home together. Or is that too much?
Nope, because she said if he don't have a 9 to 5, she's like, how are we gonna, raise our kids or have money for our children? But I thought she was a hustler. So you can't be a hustler and
she can get on the YouTube now.
I'm not following Noy.
Someone's gonna follow Noy. A lot of people are gonna follow Noy.
Probably I'm not
because of her background, her culture. Maybe some people agree with her. Like, yeah, Steve was jobless. He needed a job.
This is the second time I was ready for the culture and didn't get it.
Listen,
that's the second time.
You are in America, man.
I think that would be great if they would actually show up and mentor more. For sure. They need to be on like every other show. Seriously, every other show. And since they put it out there now, like, oh, we hear things. It was verbally said versus us like assuming. Then if you hear things you've seen, how come you haven't stepped in and intervened with the couples that's in trouble to get them on the right path? Not like week 5 talking about, oh, well, what do you think? And how do you think you're doing? And, before the 1 month anniversary, like, that don't work out.
I would still post it if you could, because people are always going to go back and watch seasons, especially because it's on Netflix. I would still post it because they're going to be mad about Alyssa all over again.
Just like you mad about Chris all over again every time you think about it.
I would never watch that season again. I would never. I would skip over that. I wouldn't even recommend that to anyone.
You're out of camera.
Sorry.
So, I wonder what the union's going to be. I think Keisha can replace Kevin.
Boring.
Is Kevin doing the reunion, or is it Keisha coming from the after party to do it?
Well, he usually does a reunion, but we don't know yet.
But that other girl on YouTube is hosting the show next week. So,
well, who hosted a show like that the last time?
Kevin, I think.
I don't know because I didn't watch it.
Okay. So I don't know. I've been ready for this reunion because it just.
I'm sure because you are very funny right now. You would definitely get the jokes. I would definitely watch it.
With no help this season. Dr. Pepper shouldn't have told Noy she doesn't live with her husband. Yeah, but this is her second husband, and even I knew that. Did you know that before? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was said like a couple seasons ago on Married at First Sight. But she did say in her first marriage, we had children and we lived together full time. Her children are nice and grown now. So in her first marriages, so now I guess maybe for work reasons, her and her husband, don't necessarily live together. But Noy probably always had wanted to do this. I don't think it's just because of Married at First Sight. I think this is just something that she feels like she needs to do. And I really wish that she would explain more. Like, did your parents, were they divorced? Or was you from a single parent or household, male or female? And why do you think it's okay for it to be separated like that? And to be a stay-at-home mom, like, how does that work? I'm supposed to pay where you live too? That's all I'm asking. And Katina will argue. I need them to understand it's not housewives, it's MAFS. That's right.
I don't think so. Do you think so?
I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible because Lindsay has his mouth on her. Lindsay always talks at a level 100. Like, she's always like up here with hers. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And I know I'm talking louder now because we're on film. I want y'all to hear me. But Lindsay just talks up here and you just don't know where she's coming from. So you always have to be on the fence with somebody like that. No room for compromise. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Is there any more comments? What I need to understand is, messing with Lindsay and she. That's what I'm talking about, Kelsey.
Was that what you were trying to get at?
Well, we all say things in different ways, but I just want to know how and when they became besties to give what's going on in the backgrounds. How do they get to this point? We haven't even seen that evolve. Now, whatever happens off camera with the couples hanging out or whatever, but seriously, how did you get from point A, which is what we saw, the hostility from the very beginning, and not necessarily, evolving into a friendship on camera that we've seen? Because, when they did another one of those group settings and Katina was like, you need to watch your mouth and Lindsay, all the other stuff. Mm-hmm. Where do the besties come from?
So do you feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Do you feel like he's kind of like betraying Katina in a way? Not being loyal to Katina?
I think
because with that, if you like Katina and you had little arguments with Lindsay, whatever, and you kind of made it know that you really cared for Lindsay, and you found out that your person was talking to Lindsay about your relationship, would that make you upset? Because that would make me upset.
Yeah, that would make me upset. I don't think it's a betrayal. I wouldn't necessarily use that word. I think I know what you're getting at, but it's okay to talk to other cast members, I guess, if you're talking to them genuinely about a concern. But if you know that we or me or I have had problems with this particular cast member,
I know you, so I know you wouldn't be happy about that.
But I just don't understand. They just didn't show the progression of how they got to be cool. Someone in the chat explain to me? Well, yeah, they're birds of the feather. We see that now, but we didn't see the progression of them getting to that. Because when I saw that, I was like, "What they sitting down for?" You know, I thought maybe it was like a random meetup in a park.
You were like, "Who is that?"
I sure did. I was like, "Who is that?" That's my famous words. If I see something that I'm like, I know I'm not seeing what I'm saying, I'll be like, "Who is that?" or "What is that?" What do the other comments say? I missed some.
This one.
Read it.
I think Noi wants her separate apartment to maybe force Steve to get a job to pay for his own apartment.
Maybe. What time is it?
6:22.
Sorry, you guys. Let me take this. Hold on. It was a recording from my doctor's office. I thought they were calling me now.
Me really quick.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I can't be answered the phone during.
I had to. That was my doctor's office. It's really important. I just need to know. It was a recording to remind me of something. But anyways, I just want to know when they got cool. I do, because now it makes it seem like was it staged? You know, to me. Okay, read it.
No, they didn't show it. Just that they met up on the rooftop to talk.
They shouldn't be mean at all, honestly. Especially if you know your wife and her don't have a good rapport. Why do you keep meeting Lindsay? What does she need to talk to you about? She need to talk to...
Well, some people feel like, oh, because you have a problem with them, I'm supposed to have a problem with them too.
Well, clearly you have...
I got over it. How come you can't get over it? I'm just saying what people would say.
No, I get that.
Especially a guy.
No, but
Some guys.
I get that. I got over it. You get over it. But we didn't see the progression of the friendship building. That's what's missing. They just threw that in there. Like, that's crazy to me. It is. It's crazy. I don't get that. You know what I mean? You beefing with somebody, and all of a sudden you like...
You beefing at my wedding. You beefing at my wedding. Throw Kelsey on. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, Kelsey. Y'all. I'm on break at work, but I just had to say this right quick while I'm sitting and watching y'all.
Okay.
This has been the most crappiest season I've ever seen. Like, it makes no sense how, like, this is even going. Like, with Stephen Noy, like, she wants the picture, but she doesn't want the work that it takes to get the picture. What she wants is someone that makes 6, 7 figures, and she can sit at home and pop out 5 and 6 kids. But the thing of it is, she's not someone that can handle 5 and 6 kids because she doesn't even know how to communicate. Which means she's gonna have children that don't know how to do that either. Now, do I think they'll stay together? Yeah, because they're both Asian, it's both in their culture. You know, and I think he really does like her. But she gonna have to do some compromising and some changing because it's clear that Steve got money. It's very clear. Like, you know, when you think back, like with Michael from the other season, we all knew he didn't have no job. We all knew he didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? Steve reminded me of like the Bill Gates of the world that walk around looking like they maybe have $2,000 in the bank, but realistically they billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Most wealthy people don't wear their money. They look just like you and me, regular average people. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Noy then let her poverty upbringing drive her into insecurity about money. But the fact of the matter is, she's just resentful because she wants to sit at home. And she feels like if she goes to work, he should too. Like, it don't look right in terms of like her family. And she needs to stop listening to her brother, her sister, whatever he wants to be on the day. She needs to stop listening to him because he don't know nothing. He here for camera time with Lindsay and Mark. The reason Mark is with Lindsay is because it's kind of like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation. Mark knows women who emotionally and physically abuse. That's what he knows, so that's what he ends up with. You know, people tend to date their parents. And Mark, when he said how his mom would yell out the window, no one wants to hear you wave, no, like how Lindsay demeans him, breaks him down. But I also think he's looking at it like this: I need somewhere to stay. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the fact that they did the sperm testing, it just was real tacky. Like she
Very.
don't, yeah, and I honestly feel like the reason her mama don't fool with her is not because her mama is that way, it's because Lindsay's that way. Lindsay reminds me of the spoiled little girl who never got told no by her daddy and grew up to be an entitled adult. She'll do anything for you, but it's only done in the context of you having to owe her something. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't understand that you can do things free heartedly. And as far as like Michael and Jasmine, she didn't put him in the friend zone since day one.
Oh yeah.
She she's like, they always say, oh, well, just go ahead and have sex, try it. She has friend zoned this man's heart. She likes him, but only as a friend because of whatever, how he looks or whatever, or the reason that he lied in the beginning about the people. Who knows? But
Mm-hmm.
she don't like him, and they both just riding out the wave by Romeo. They're riding out the wave with Elijah wanting Katina. I agree with Cassandra. If I don't mess with you, my man shouldn't mess with you either. And the reason I don't mess with you is because you done something to him. Lindsay reminds me of a Karen. She'll call the police on you and then turn around and say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter, they matter." But you sat there, you, because on the after show when she said, "Oh, I knew what could happen," which means you purposely did that to that man. And so if
Right.
I, as O, would not even, you couldn't even speak to me, but because he grew up in this white environment, he's been conditioned to make white people feel comfortable, to make them feel accepted, like with the mom and the daughter. We already knew what that was.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, oh, he's very self-serving. And Katina is a pick me. So they paired the two perfect people together. Because he never would have lasted with Jasmine. She would have had him in shape by week one. And like it is sad to watch because she's so pretty.
She is. She is
Like
pretty. Yeah.
she's so pretty, but she has zero self-esteem. Like zero. And, like
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a girl that pretty have no self-esteem. And I don't know how she is when the camera's on, but the way he demeans her is the same way Lindsay demeans Mark, but it's just with a nicer tone. And it's
Yeah.
so sad, and it's so sad to watch.
Well, he's definitely learned. You talk about Olajuwon, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he definitely learned whatever behavior from. I'm not sure because he calls his coach a father figure, so he's definitely learned it from someone other than whoever was at home. Because he didn't learn that from home if his dad wasn't around. How to talk and treat a
Well,
wife.
he said that daddy came every Sunday to get him from church, but he said that his dad was, an African man. So I would imagine, African culture, women are expected to be subservient, and like, and O is saying, you know, with her going to school, like I'm gonna be here taking care of two people. No, you're gonna be taking care of your child, and she's gonna be taking care of herself.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, like you should be taking care of your kid too.
yeah. I just think he really feels like, besides the demeaning, I know that's a lot. I just think he feels like he's better than her. I really do,
Oh,
because
he definitely.
he accomplished his goals already. So that's why I think so.
I think it's that too, but I also think it's the fact that he grew up with the mother that he grew up with. If you catch my drift,
Okay.
that you know what I mean. Like, and so how when you are in a situation with that type of person, how they kind of talk down to you as
Mm-hmm.
if you're not as intelligent because of the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is very clear in his upbringing and how he really thought it was an accomplishment to say that about the mother and the daughter. Because in other situations and
Mm-hmm.
environments, that would be seen as something else. Whereas in a situation, that he was in, it is not. Like we basically saw that you were used
Yeah.
for a certain reason. And he didn't, and I don't feel he grew up with enough people of a Katina's type of environment to really know the difference.
Well, Cassandra made a point. I don't know. You may have said it off camera about where he grew up. It's like where he grew up since kept. He brought up out his own mouth how he lived in the ghetto and he lived, a certain way. And it's like, so is he trying to say he's never been exposed to certain things, or he thinks maybe since he's again accomplished his goals that he's better than that, and kind of like looks down on everybody who didn't, who came from a certain place. But Katina, because he was like, yeah, but she grew up in the suburbs. You know what I mean? It's like, What is it
That's
that
where that resentment comes in.
you?
He has a lot of resentment towards her. Like I think he really resents the fact that she grew up in a household that was very structured, and whereas you could tell he did not. Like his
Yeah.
dad was a weekend dad, came to get him for church every Sunday. He played sports, and like, so what if she didn't get her degree the same time frame you did? Also, you were an athlete, which means the majority of your stuff was taken care of. She was not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So do you agree that the majority of these people on here, because this is your thing right here, need counseling?
Oh, absolutely. I think all of them do. I also feel like Steve is also slightly depressed. Because he was laid off from his job and he didn't really have a sense of purpose, and so he's crushing it. And I don't want to lose my creativity.
Uh-oh, we were
And I feel as though like all of these people have resentment and abandonment issues, and they are all choosing to be pick me's, with the exception of Jasmine and Michael.
mhm,
Michael, I think he's kind of resigned himself to thinking and knowing, oh, she don't want me for real, but I'm just gonna play play my part so I don't get fined. Like he's doing the Marshawn Lynch. I'm here so I don't get fined.
mhm,
Jasmine, she has a lot of resentment and abandonment issues. We think about the stepmom, the mom, the dad, all of that, and so
yeah.
she has now resigned herself into thinking if my man doesn't come exactly packaged like this, then he's not the man for me. I don't know what it is about Michael that she does not want, but I also know that she said that she was recruited for the show, so she may not have just never wanted to be married in general. She may have just needed the money. And it was like, I'm just going to go on here and be nice to this person and then go about my business. With Mark, they matched him. Like he comes off as this Mark the Shark can handle the big personality, but in reality he's a guppy, and he needs to deal with the resentment that he has towards both of his parents, his dad for being so weak and his mom for being so violent, and the same thing
Mhm.
with Lindsay. Oh. Yeah, O has only ever dated white women, and I think that is, and if you grew up in the hood, that says a lot about the fact that of your choosing, because most likely in the hood, your environment
Mhm.
was not white women. So, which means you purposely chose non black women, which also I would want to delve into why that is. And did you treat them white women the same way you treated Katina? Because I don't feel it so. And I feel like he has a lot of self hate and self image issues, like with the mohawk.
Mhm.
How he presented himself, the hypervigilance, the ADHD, and the fact that you're this old and you have not sought treatment for it. You have been coddled and crutched your whole life. And so none of these people, they don't have any type of coping skills or communication skills. Steve is a little bit better packaged because he has such a high level of education.
Mhm.
But when you boil it down, the fact that he hasn't sat Noah down and said, we're having this conversation,
Uh-huh.
lets you know that he doesn't really want to have it. Because if
Yeah.
you really want to discuss something, you will discuss it. And the fact that he politely checks her and doesn't follow through with any of the consequences lets you know that he's actually a poor communicator. He can say a few fancy words and it sounds like he knows it, but he doesn't really. Because if you really have X, Y, and Z together, then the fact that she's doing this, you would make it known to her it's either yes or no. Because things like that, those are not a, oh, we can work through this and you can still do it. Those are finite, final issues because it's going to be a continual thing.
Yeah. I yeah, I see your point now. I do think Steve is not the best communicator, but I also think that he also can feel the distance or the lack of trust within Noi to actual share right now.
And I don't think, and I think because she has such distrust, he's not comfortable disclosing his financial situation because he doesn't know if she'll just do with him only for the money. And the things that he says, the phrases that he uses, lets me know that Steve is more than comfortable.
Well,
And
I think that he does know deep down that Noi is, since she's a hustler and she's driven, money drives Noi. So
hmm
I think he
and
knows that and is not comfortable with sharing that. So I think maybe that's maybe the reason why he hasn't.
that, and that's what I mean by when I say she's like, she's driven and she's money hungry, is that
Okay.
could be, you can think about like the immigrant culture. In other countries, everyone thinks Americans are rich. Everyone
That's
thinks
true.
Americans are just, and so when you have people that come from internment camps, to them, you not having a job is like, oh my God, you're poor, you're on welfare. And and so because he knows that money drives her, if she
Mhm.
sees that three numbers in front of the comma or whatever, however much he has, because most apps sell for at least six figures. Then I'm talking up to the upper, mid to upper six figures, and you
Yeah.
retain a percentage, of the sales. So
Yeah.
for that, that to me says he is uncomfortable with letting her know how much money he has because he is uncomfortable with whether or not she's going to take him for everything she has. And also, he really needs to think about when you have children with a person, your
Mhm.
child takes on half of that person's personality.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
no matter what you do, unless that person is not around, but there are some personality traits that are genetic. Like, like the
Mhm.
hypervigilance, all those things that come with a person, those are
Mhm.
genetic. And your child, whether those things are dormant or dominant, will happen.
Yes. Now that I do know.
Mhm.
All right, Kelsey. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next.
I have, yeah, bye.
Okay. Take care. So yeah, so that was pretty much it in a nutshell. So I
Yeah.
didn't want her to go over her break for us to, like that, but we appreciate her. She always has a good point to things like that when she comes on the show. So we
Mhm.
appreciate it, Kelsey. So did you have anything else to say? Because really that's the show.
That wrapped it up.
Waiting on decision day and see what's going from there. Hopefully we can get a good show. It's not long and drawn out. It's not two parts.
Wishful thinking, Mom.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking. That is not going to happen.
So, okay, well.
All right. So we will be back
Mm-hmm.
for Decision Day. Not next week. Not for that filler episode. I refuse. Mom, you can do it?
I don't know. Probably not. If you don't want to do it, probably not.
No, but we are going to be back on Decision Day. Mom says she wants to bring somebody on. So we might have a special guest come and join
Or
us.
vice versa. You never know. So may
Yes.
invite us on.
But we hope you guys have a really great weekend. We also want to thank those who have been watching Mom's cancer journey. If you haven't watched it yet, please go watch it. It's something that's been a long time in the making. She always been wanting to do it, but now has had the courage.
That's true.
To
the
do
courage
so.
to do it, to speak out. Yeah.
And we are going to document it more. We're going to, you want to say it now?
If you want to.
Going to UCLA next week to see if she can have possible surgery. So, we want to film that journey as well.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that.
Yeah. I appreciate everything. And thank you for the comments. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the encouragement. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, you guys have a really great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. Talk to you later.
Bye.